The movie begins with Hong Kong buzzing late at night, the city lights glowing as an urgent call hits police headquarters. A bank heist is underway. A mysterious crew has broken into a vault, but here's the twist. Out of everything inside, they hit only a single safe deposit box. When investigators pry it open, they don't find gold, diamonds, or anything flashy. Inside is just a simple notebook covered in strange code. The owner of the box shows up absolutely furious. That notebook contained half of his crypto password. Just half. But it's enough to put over $500 million of his assets at risk if the thieves can get the rest. But moving that kind of money isn't like sending a quick mobile transfer, so the crew's next target becomes clear. A digital asset management company. It's basically Fort Knox for crypto, tucked quietly on the 4th floor of an ordinary building. This place holds the other half of the password and digital assets for a bunch of elite clients. When the thieves break in and start digging through the database, they discover something huge. Hidden deep in the system is the password of a legendary billionaire. This man was the CEO of the biggest crypto exchange in Kuala Lumpur, stole $1.5 billion in crypto, vanished, and was later found dead in Macau under suspicious circumstances. Rumor always had it he faked his death because that money was never recovered. And now, out of nowhere, the crew realizes the missing fortune has been sitting here the whole time, untouched and waiting. Simon, the tech genius of the group, insists they need an extra minute to copy the billionaire's entire password. Their original plan was a 3-minute smash and grab, but the chance to steal $1.5 billion is too tempting for the crew to walk away from. Their leader, Lao Lang, knows it's risky. The police will arrive in 5 minutes, but the rest of the team agrees with Simon, and he stays behind to finish the job. Lao Lang steps up to cover everyone's escape. Just as predicted, the cops arrive at the front door. Lao Lang yells for the crew to get out. They time everything perfectly, sprint out of the room and slip into the elevator, only to run straight into the police when the doors open. Ironically, the cops wouldn't have recognized them at all because Simon had already replaced the security camera footage with fake images. But at that moment, an employee calls in and gives the police an extremely detailed description of the robbers. Their clothing, their masks, everything. The cops instantly realize they've been tricked and the chase begins. Cornered and panicking, the crew drags one of the officers into the elevator as a hostage. Normally going upward is suicide since all the exits are sealed off. But these guys came prepared. They blast onto the rooftop, rip open compact parachute rigs, and literally glide off the building. The police can only watch in disbelief as the thieves float down onto the roof of a nearby casino. They land, regroup, and with some quick teamwork and a fast clothes change, they vanish into the casino crowd without leaving a trace. Down at the station, the crypto millionaire who lost his $500 million explodes in rage. He screams at the police, demanding answers. The police chief feels the pressure. Every time they try to track this gang, the criminals' tech outmatches them. Cameras malfunction, footage is swapped, and digital evidence vanishes. Their systems are like cracked eggshells compared to the gang's hacking skills. With high-tech methods failing, the bosses call for something old school. Didn't cops solve crimes before all this fancy tech? Someone asks. That sparks an idea. Bring back a legend. They pull a retired detective named Tak Chung Wong out of quiet old man life. Ikugwa, a young officer, is assigned to shadow him. At first she doesn't understand the hype. Tak Chung Wong looks like a completely ordinary retiree. But after tailing him all day in disguise, the old man sits right in front of her, calls out her cover, and calmly lists every mistake she made. The legend hasn't lost a thing. Soon after, he's back at headquarters, combing through the security footage from the heist. He identifies several young suspects and one older man, clearly the brains of the operation. This older guy knows every blind spot in the city, dodging cameras like a seasoned ghost. Even the officer's body cams couldn't get a full shot of him. But Tak Chung Wong recognizes him anyway. This is the Phantom, a notorious criminal from the late 80s, a former foreign intelligence operative and member of a specialized assassination squad. A master of disguise and deadly with a knife, he committed over a dozen major robberies in Hong Kong and Macau before vanishing in 1999. No one expected him to return decades later, frail-looking but still lethal. Meanwhile, at the crew's hideout, tension explodes. Lao Lang, also called Lung Sang, erupts at Simon, furious that he risked everyone's lives for the extra minute of hacking. Lung Sang has avoided police for years, but Simon's stunt nearly exposed them. Simon argues back, saying Lung Sang has gone soft with age and lost his nerve. Lung Sang snaps and beats him, nearly killing him before the others pull them apart. For the first time, he feels the kids he raised are pushing against him, no longer respecting his authority. Even Hu Fong, the most loyal and obedient of the group, steps in to restrain him. These boys were all orphans that Lung Sang took in years ago, using stolen money to raise them and keep them alive. But now that they're grown, they're forming their own ideas the same way he once rebelled when he was young. Realizing how fragile things are becoming, Lung Sang tells Hu Fong he doesn't need him around for a while. He needs space. Back at the station, Tak Chung Wong selects his surveillance team. Every member is plain-looking, forgettable, and hasn't interacted with the gang. He also picks Hikugwa, but instead of sending her on missions he keeps her with him, driving him around and buying him snacks. She's furious, she wants real action, not errands. When she sees a group of thugs harassing people in an alley, she charges in, unable to ignore it. Tak Chung Wong scolds her for disobeying orders but ultimately jumps in to help her. On the drive afterward, he tells her the truth he's held for years. Her father was his partner. During a surveillance mission long ago, Tak Chung Wong made the same mistake she did. He broke cover trying to stop a trafficker. Their cover was blown, and Hikigwo's father was shot dead protecting him. From that day forward, Tak Chung Wong followed orders to the letter. Hearing this, Hikigwo's eyes fill with tears. She finally understands both her father's death and her own reckless mistakes. Just then, as their car passes a busy market, they catch sight of someone familiar, Lung Sang, the Phantom himself. The market cameras can't capture a clear image of him, so the team must rely on eyes alone. But most of the officers nearby have already been seen by Lung Sang in the past few days, so if they approach him, he'll instantly know something's wrong. The only person he hasn't seen yet is Hikugwa. Tak Chung Wong sends her in. She approaches carefully, pretending she dropped something on the ground. Using a dirty puddle as a mirror, she confirms Lung Sang's face without ever looking directly at him. They tail him back to a giant residential building, but it has too many units to identify which apartment is his. Someone needs to follow him inside. Hikugwa volunteers. She slips into the elevator behind him, but Lung Sang senses something off the moment she raises her hand to her ear to communicate. He notices the movement and quietly draws his knife. Just before things go bad, Tak Chung Wong appears, pretending to be Hikigwo's angry father, yelling at her for dating and dressing up too much. He reaches up and plucks off her earring, revealing that she wasn't wearing an earpiece after all. Lung Sang lowers his guard slightly but still isn't fully convinced. Tak Chung Wong quickly hits the button for the top floor and drags Hikugwa out when the doors open. To make the act look real, he picks the lock to a random apartment and pulls her inside. From the elevator, Lung Sang watches them enter the unit and finally relaxes, convinced they're just neighbors. He exits the building, none the wiser. That night, the police set up infrared cameras to keep an eye on Lung Sang and see that he's just sitting on the couch, popping bubble wrap and staring blankly at a bag. Nothing unusual going on. The next day, Tak Chung Wong follows Lung Sang to the market, trying to befriend him. Lung Sang keeps talking, testing him, but Tak Chung Wong skillfully dodges the questions. He even invites Lung Sang over for a meal. During the meal, Hikugwa pretends to be Tak Chung Wong's daughter and almost avoids any slip-ups. She even uses a high-tech trick to copy data from Lung Sang's phone lying on the table. That night, as Lung Sang leaves, a mysterious figure dressed in black breaks into Tak Chung Wong's house and attacks him with a knife. Hikugwa has already finished her shift and left. Left alone, Tak Chung Wong notices the police cameras have been replaced by Simon. Luckily, Tak Chung Wong is skilled in martial arts and manages to hold off the masked attacker. Meanwhile, Hikugwa, after thinking it over, decides to return the copied phone to the police station. Everyone notices the surveillance footage and realizes there's something wrong with the camera. Just as the police are about to leave, Simon alerts the assassin. Frustrated, the attacker jumps out a window to escape. It turns out they discovered Tak Chung Wong and Hikigwo's police identities but didn't tell Lung Sang. The police realize Lung Sang hasn't fled, which means he doesn't know there's a net set up above him. From this, they deduce there's a split within the crime group. Maybe the gang also guessed the police wanted to use Lung Sang as bait to catch everyone. Since he's the bait, the police temporarily leave him alone. The attack on Tak Chung Wong was just a probe to create chaos and try to rescue Lung Sang, but the plan fails and new moves are inevitable. Meanwhile, Simon recruits more online henchmen to seize the digital vault. 3 days later, Lung Sang goes out and the criminal police team follows him. Unexpectedly, Tak Chung Wong and Hikigwo's car is ambushed. Just as they pass the main gate of the police station, another car rams them head-on. The attacker jumps out and fires wildly. Reinforcements arrive but are caught off guard, and many police officers are injured. Hikugwa is lucky to survive. She's the first to wake and tries to help Tak Chung Wong, but one of the thugs notices her and aims again. She reacts quickly, grabs her gun, slides out of the car and takes down several of them. Then she drags Tak Chung Wong to safety. Tak Chung Wong regains consciousness and shares his theory. The trash bag Lung Sang threw away has braille characters that must be reported to intelligence to decode the hidden information. Meanwhile, Lung Sang heads straight back to the orphanage where assassins are waiting. Simon has decided to eliminate him, fearing Lung Sang might fall into the police's hands and expose his brothers. According to Simon, Lung Sang is too old and can't keep up anymore. Most importantly, if arrested, he might betray them as he's always been ruthless. But Simon underestimates Lung Sang. Hundreds of pursuers are no match for him. After dispatching all the assassins, someone appears before Lung Sang, seeing the child he raised. Lung Sang can't help but scream in pain. He never expected even Hu Fang would betray him. In reality, Hu Fang never wanted to kill Lung Sang. As an older brother, he takes responsibility for his younger sibling. They point weapons at each other. All the moves Hu Fang learned came from Lung Sang, yet now he uses them against him. At first, Lung Sang can't bring himself to kill Hu Fang, only striking him repeatedly. Hu Fang, unable to fight back, hugs Lung Sang and jumps out the window, hoping to die together. They fall to the ground floor. Outside, the police surround the orphanage. Lung Sang stabs Hu Fang in the stomach, and Hu Fang dies holding Lung Sang tightly, hoping to be his biological son in the next life. Hearing this, Lung Sang realizes Hu Fang may never have intended to kill him, but it's too late. Simon watches via camera. Seeing his older brother die, he presses a detonator, intending to blow up Lung Sang. At the last moment, Lung Sang shields himself with Hu Fang's body. After the explosion, police rush in and find Lung Sang in the rubble. He agrees to cooperate to capture the crime group. The attackers at headquarters are mercenaries who only wanted payment. They were after 10 billion in dirty money, which the police had been using for a government digital project. They can't access the funds without a password. Simon and his gang have the password, and their entire plan was to steal this digital currency. Simon realizes Lung Sang isn't as confused as he appeared. He was helping the police by drawing attention to himself, but now it's too late. The police use suspect vehicle tracking and deduce the criminals switched cars to reach a hotel. They catch some of them there. Their disguises are useless against the surveillance team. On the way, Lung Sang knocks out the police escorting him and escapes. Simon reaches the train station. A young officer following him tries to arrest him, but Lung Sang stabs him, severing his femoral artery. Lung Sang then kills Simon's unfilial adopted son. Lung Sang escapes but knows nothing about the digital currency or how to transfer it. Lung Sang gambles the old-fashioned way, threatening a wealthy businessman for 10 million in cash to hand over his digital currency, avoiding a loss of hundreds of millions. The businessman happily agrees and doesn't report to the police. Tak Chong Wong and Hikagwa interrogate him and confirm the transaction location. At the location, Hikagwa observes beforehand. When Lung Sang arrives, he sits directly across from her. She stays calm and feigns cluelessness, buying time until reinforcements arrive. Lung Sang fights Tak Chong Wong, who is no match and nearly gets stabbed. Hikagwa risks her life to hold Lung Sang back. Fearing more police, Lung Sang flees, but he has nowhere to go. Hikagwa directs the forces and corners him on a street. "I'm a police officer. You're under arrest," she announces. Lung Sang is taken to prison. But the story isn't over. Hu Fang and Simon aren't twins, they're triplets. Another brother is still at large and has posted a wanted notice for Lung Sang on the dark web. Lung Sang may have gone to prison to lie low, knowing another mastermind is still out there. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of the exciting content coming your way. Every new video is made with you in mind, and I'd love to have you here for the journey. See you in the next one.